Tyler Chaudhary. My partner is Rudder, and this is our MATLAB generated Blackjack. So let me show you how the code works, a little run through of the game, and some of the things that can happen playing Blackjack on MATLAB. So we enter the casino to start. We can choose our bet sizing up here. We start with 5,000. We're going to bet smart at 1,000. Confirm the bet here, and we start. First hand, we have 10. Dealer has 4. We hit again. We have 20. We stand. The dealer then shows 18. We win the hand. Hand number 2, we confirm the bet again at $1,000. We start. We have a king and a 5. Dealer has a 3. We hit. We have a 19. We stand. It's a tie. We push. No bet, no money earned, no money lost. We do it again. Confirm the bet and start. $15 versus 8. We have to hit. Oh, too many. The house wins. We lose. I am now going to demonstrate what would occur if you were to lose all of your money. So we have $5,000. We are betting $5,000. I'm going to intentionally lose this hand just for the demonstration. We have a 12. They have a 10. Hopefully we lose. 17. The house wins. Now if I attempt to bet 5,000 again, I am unable to bet any amount because I have $0. Now I am forced to exit and rejoin, where I can then have a starting balance of 5,000 once again. The final thing I'd like to demonstrate is what happens when the player has a blackjack. So I'm going to cut now and will return to you when I get a blackjack. Oh, that was fast. Well, look at that. I have blackjack. There you go. You win 21 blackjack. And as you can see on the table, blackjack pays 3-2. Therefore, I bet 1,000, and my return was $1,500, which is a very cool thing implemented in our code. Thank you for watching our demonstration of the game. Now to Zach.
All right, so we're just gonna do a quick rundown of the code. So this was made in MATLAB's app designer. So here you can see that it's part of like the MATLAB like app base. These are just like all the properties of pretty much every UI component, all the images, buttons, sliders, everything like that, the image of the cards. So here, the first thing is to create a card deck, we just made an array from 152. We initialize the card count for the player and dealer and initialize the value of their hands. Then create empty arrays for the cards and a string array for the images. Each player starts with $5,000 and the initial bet is $0. So this function is how we draw a card. So instead of making a deck of cards and shuffling, we found that the best way to do this would be to pretty much just draw a random card from the deck. So we just kind of choose a random number. And after we choose that number, we set the value of that index in the deck to 0, so we know not to choose it again. And then we just pretty much have an if statement for every single card from 152. And it has the value of the card and the string that holds the image file name. So here you can see aces. An ace can either be a 1 or 11 in blackjack. So it starts as an 11, and if the hand would be so you assume it's gonna be 11 unless it puts the hand over 21, then it gets set to 1. Here we have a function to reset the app, which kind of just so it runs these 3 functions, which you'll see below, which pretty much clears the screen and resets it, and just sets all those properties that we just saw above back to the initial state. So here this function is stand logic. This is the logic that you use if a player chooses to stand. It's also used when a player is dealt blackjack, so it's made into one function to kind of make the code shorter. So according to blackjack like rules, the dealer has to hit until they get a value of 17 or higher, and then they have to stand. So as long as they have a value under 17, you deal them a card. This code is just so we know what image to put that card into, what image slot. And here we check if the dealer has an ace. Because it has an ace, since the cards and the hand is over 21, we set that ace to 1 because it can change, the value of the ace can change. So this is really a kind of a breakthrough for us because it was hard to figure out how to get the value of the ace to change in the middle of a hand. And here are just possible outcomes of the game, displaying different images depending on who wins. And here you see that we reset the app here. And you also just your money depends on the bet that you made. So this is one of the functions that was called above the beginning of reset, and this just turns off all the images of the cards. This clears everything off the screen. Then this sets up the start screen for each hand. So these are the callbacks. So this is when the hit button is pushed. You deal the player card, determine which card to turn on for the player. So then if they hit 21, you do the stand logic again because now the dealer gets to play out their turn to see what they would get. Once again, checking if the player is an ace. Different outcomes. The stand button is pushed. You just use stand logic because that's how the logic of the game works. So on the start button, you just kind of set the screen to get everything right. And you deal the player 2 cards at first, update the player's hand. So the dealer is technically dealt 2 cards, but the second card is not facing up, so we really only just deal the dealer 1 card. And if the player is dealt blackjack, then the dealer has a chance to also try to get blackjack. And obviously they can only get blackjack if they're first dealt a card that's a value of 10 or an 11. So if they are, then we play through and see what the outcome of the game would be. Once again, checking for that ace. So this once again just clears the screen. So this was another problem that we ran into, and it was determining how to make the bet carry over. So we tried using a drop-down menu, a text input, and all these were kind of giving us issues of like updating the value, and it kept adding the value as like an array. So it wasn't just keeping it as one number. So we decided the slider was the best option, and the slider with the callbacks where if you change the value, so you want to do the same bet 2 hands in a row, it wouldn't calculate the second bet. So what we did is you have to push the button to confirm your bet to make sure that that's the bet you want for that hand. And also we have a little thing here where if you try to bet with more money than you have, it shows you that you cannot bet that amount by showing a visual, and you can only bet a amount that is less than or equal to the amount of money you have. And here, this is just kind of the app designer's way of like just creating each component, all the UI, like figures, colors, positions. And then here it just sets up the app. So hope you guys enjoyed this.